This offseason, there's been a big shakeup with Paul George heading to the Philadelphia 76ers, leaving a huge gap in the Clippers lineup. With Kawhi also dealing with knee issues, the pressure is on Harden to step up and lead this team. Does this remind you of a position he's been in before? Harden's performance last season with the Clippers, he averaged 17 points, nearly 9 assists per game, which isn't bad considering he was playing alongside stars like Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell Westbrook. Those numbers are actually pretty close to what he put up in his early days with the Thunder, when he was also a third option behind Durant and Westbrook. Even though his scoring numbers were down from his Houston days, Harden still showed he's one of the best playmakers in the league. His 9 assists per game prove he's still got the vision and ability to create for his own teammates. And now with Paul George gone, there's a real chance for those numbers to increase. Harden could be more aggressive in taking shots and will be relied on to set up for more plays. But when he was the main option, things seemed to all change. Harden's days with the Houston Rockets were some of the most competitive and heartbreaking eras in the Western Conference. He changed the game. In an era of analytics-driven basketball with Mike D'Antoni, an offense that revolved around Harden's unmatched ability to score and distribute, we saw a major shift during those years. Three-pointers and dunks became the most valuable shots, and Harden's ability to draw fouls, especially with his free throw shooting, was a game changer. He was one of the pioneers of this style of play, and the NBA was never the same after that. James Harden has had quite the journey in his career, becoming an MVP and scoring machine with the Houston Rockets. We've seen Harden at his peak. His time in Houston was all about putting up insane numbers, averaging over 30 points a game at his best, and leading the team deep into the playoffs, even though he quite never got that championship he always wanted. The big difference now is experience. Harden's no longer that young six-man looking to prove himself. He's been through the ups and downs of a long career. He's been in big games, and he knows how to handle the pressure. This season, he could take those lessons from his past and use them to lead this Clippers team. Harden had the option to leave the Clippers team this offseason, but he chose to stay. Why? Aside from staying where he is from, well, it's confidence.
The roles, and it's kind of difficult when you got that high caliber of players. Or shit, for me, I got to clear space on what I need to be doing.
Harden has always been confident in his abilities, and he believes he could still impact the game in a big way. He said it before, he's not just a system player, he is the system. That kind of belief is what's driving this team. Harden isn't an MVP caliber player who's putting up 30 plus points a game, but he's still an elite playmaker. By staying in LA, Harden is betting on himself in this Clippers team. With Paul George gone, Harden knows there's a big opportunity for him to take on more responsibility and leadership. Harden has gone quite through the journey over the past seasons. He said it himself. This is the best he's felt in 5 or 6 years. That's a huge statement for someone with his resume.
Start of the season, I'm gonna be probably not probably the best shape I've been in probably about 5, 6, 7 years. So
Now, what does this truly mean? I expect him to give the Clippers a solid 20 points and 10 assists at the minimum, or even 25 and 10. Harden has always shown up in the regular season, and I expect him to do the same. This is his team, and he gets to do whatever he wants. He will be the system. For those who don't think he got it anymore, don't get it twisted. Harden can still take over when needed. His scoring touch hasn't gone anywhere, and when the moment calls for it, he's more than capable of carrying the team on his back. He's matured, but that fire still burns bright. He even played pretty solid against the Dallas Mavericks with Paul George. Now he's all alone, and I think he will keep this team afloat and close to playoff contention in a studded Western Conference. Harden's return to form could have ripple effects across the NBA. His presence in the Western Conference once again reshapes the playoff picture. And let's not forget how the rest of the league will react. Teams that had written off Harden as being past his prime are going to have to rethink their strategies. Harden isn't done yet, and this season will be a reminder of just how impactful he could be. Harden has been a playoff regular throughout his career, but can he bring the same consistency to the Clippers this season? Last season, the teams dealt with injuries to key players like Kawhi Leonard, and now with Paul George gone, the pressure on Harden is getting even higher. The good news is he's still one of the best at controlling the pace of the game and getting his teammates involved. If Kawhi can stay healthy and Harden continues to put up solid numbers like last season, the Clippers could have a real shot at making the playoffs, but it won't be easy. The Western Conference is stacked. Teams like the Denver Nuggets, Dallas Mavericks, Minnesota Timberwolves, and OKC are all strong contenders. Harden's leadership, playmaking, and ability to keep team art steady during the grind of the regular season will be crucial. He just doesn't need to be MVP Harden. He just needs to do what he does best, which is control the pace of the game and make sure the Clippers stay in the playoff race. So is James Harden back? Absolutely. Well, kind of. With Paul George gone and Kawhi Leonard coming off knee surgery, Harden is in the perfect position to take charge of this Clippers team. His numbers last season were solid, and now he has even a bigger role to fill. Harden's confidence, experience, and ability to control the game make him the perfect leader for this team heading into the 2024-2025 season. The road to the playoffs won't be easy, but if Harden can stay focused and keep playing at a high level, the Clippers have a real shot. Don't count him out. Harden is ready to show everyone that he still got it. Can James Harden get back to averaging 25 points per game? Many fans think he can, and I certainly do since he basically has no choice. And I certainly think he can since he basically has no choice. He averaged 20 in the playoffs where he's not known to do so well, and he had Paul George along his side and took over in a couple of games. The regular season he usually does a bit better, and certainly expect that from him. I can see them sneaking back into the playoff if Kawhi comes back healthy and back in his mode. This team will be overlooked but can make some noise.